cut. Make your choice now.
වංචනිකයන්ට දඬුවම් දෙන්නේ නැද්ද? ඔවුන් ගැන පරීක්ෂණ පවත්වන්නේ නැද්ද? ඒවට මොකද වෙන්නේ?
යහපත් දෙයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒකට යහපත් කියලා කියන්නත් වැරදි දෙයක් තියෙනවා නම් ඒකේ නියම පැත්ත පෙන්වලා දෙන්න.
ඒකාධිපති වියරුවෙන් කටයුතු කරන පාලනයකට කවදාවත් භාණ්ඩාගාරයේ මුදල් එක්රැස් කරලා දෙන්න බෑ.
Vote now for your favorite cut of the day. Log on to www.newsfirst.lk or SMS to BEST space your choice and send it to 7788. For the best cut of the day, watch News First on Sirius TV at 10 tonight. The best cut. Make your choice now.
You're watching News First, and still in local news, 3 individuals have been arrested in Dikwala for selling a stock of school textbooks to a businessman. The police media unit stated that the raid was conducted last night following a tip-off received by the senior superintendent of the Mathura police.
Investigations revealed that the stock of textbooks belonging to the Vijita Madhya Mahavidyalaya was sold to a businessman in Dikwala by an individual affiliated to the school. The stock of books were found in the storeroom of the school following the raid carried out by a special police team at around 1 o'clock this morning. The police media unit further stated that an office assistant and a security guard of the school have been arrested with regard to the incident. The raid saw 5,335 textbooks, including a stock of books which was to be distributed among students next year. When the principal of the Vijita Madhya Mahavidyalaya was questioned regarding the incident, he stated that this could be an act of sabotage in order to disrupt an ongoing investigation regarding a monetary fraud which occurred in August this year. The principal further stated that there was no plan of selling books which are not in good condition to any outside party, and that he is also confused as to how a new stock of books have been found, as all new textbooks have already been given to the students. However, the Children and Women's Affairs Bureau of Mathura conducting further investigations into the incident.
Well, up next is a look at Action TV.
Although the National Aquatic Resource Research and Development Agency, or NARA, established 30 years ago, is a semi-government institution, it is provided funding on an annual basis by the Treasury. The sum of this funding, provided under the categories of current expenditure and capital for research needs, is currently about 150 million rupees. Close to 40 doctoral graduates are affiliated to this institution, which has been tasked with several targets relevant to the development of the country. As a result, this institution is considered an intellectual centre, and therefore educational and professional qualifications for the positions of Chairman and Director General of NARA are not defined. NARA, which is administered by a board of directors, earns revenue not only through research but also through providing consultation services to the public and private sector. There is a system in place for dividing this revenue. When considering revenue earned through consultation services, 35% of this revenue must be allocated for the development of non-human resources in the institution that was used for the relevant project. 35% is allocated for officials affiliated to the institution who provided direct support for the relevant consultation service project. The balance 30% is divided among officials affiliated to the institution who indirectly provided support for the relevant consultation service project. One of the most significant projects in recent times to which NARA provided consultation services was the expansion of the Colombo South Harbour. The agency earned a sum of 66,290,857 rupees and 4 cents for their services. Of that amount, only 5,569,153 rupees and 85 cents have been paid out in direct and indirect expense. Accordingly, the agency should still be in possession of 60,721,703 rupees and 19 cents from the earnings on this project. This letter, addressed by the chairman of NARA, dated the 27th of August 2012, affirms that this money has been saved. However, a problem arises when considering that this letter addressed by the chairman affirms that not only the remaining monies, but the entire sum earned through this project has not been deposited anywhere.
Minister of State Management Reforms Navin Dissanayake charges that the English teachers in the country are unable to speak English. He made this statement at an event held in Sri Ratnapula Dhamma School in Amathalawa, Kothmale.
අද It is disappointing to say that today there are around 6,000 to 7,000 English teachers in the country and they are unable to speak English. But massive investment is being made in the education system. Is our education system truly unsuccessful? Our country must be subject to several changes, especially public administration, the shortcomings in our education system, corruption, embezzlement and thievery. We must gradually face these problems.
Speaking at an event at Dabare Mawati Narayanpeta today, UNP Western Provincial Councillor Jayantha De Silva highlighted the importance of raising a grateful next generation.
The annual prize giving and concert of Gautama Preschool, an affiliated institution of the Free Friends Society, was held this morning.
When you are grateful to someone who has assisted you, but then you attempt to surpass the person who assisted you, that is very foolish. It cannot be done. I wish to advise the parents gathered here to teach their children to be grateful to their teachers, to the people who impart their knowledge to them. Only then will they be able to become the best citizens of this country.
Measures have been taken to unearth the remains of those who were killed when a Lion airplane crashed into the seas of Iranathil due to an LTTE missile attack in 1998.
According to police, they commenced a search for the bodies today following information that the remains of 31 persons who were in the plane are buried in the Manithale area in Punarin. The human remains will be unearthed under the supervision of the Terrorism Investigations Division in the presence of the Kilnochi magistrate and the Judicial Medical Officer in Colombo. Accordingly, backhoes were used in unearthing the remains. The search operations began following the statements given by individuals to the TID who claimed to have buried the bodies of the individuals who were on the plane. However, human remains were not found at the said location until this afternoon. It was on the 29th of September 1998 that an Antonov 24 plane crashed into the seas of Iranathil with 55 individuals including staff and passengers. Police added that the LTTE member who is said to have launched the missile attack on the plane is in custody as well.
Moving on to sports news now. Maldives are crowned champions of the inaugural Mahinda Rajapaksa International Football Tournament after they beat Pakistan in the all-important finals today.
Maldives and Pakistan were among the 4 teams that competed in the Mahinda Rajapaksa International Football Tournament, which concluded today at the Jayatilaka Stadium in Nawalpitiya. Both Maldives and Pakistan remained scoreless in the first half of the final match, but Hahid Rilwan ended the deadlock by scoring for Maldives in the 57th minute of the second half. Abdul Asadullah scored the second goal for Maldives, but Pakistan managed to score just 1 goal.
It's time now for the bitter truth.
On Tuesday, the International Olympic Committee banned the Indian Olympic Association for failing to comply with its charter and statutes. Reuters reported that one of the main reasons that triggered the ban was that the new IOA Secretary General, who was to be officially elected, was Lali Bano, who spent 11 months in custody last year because of corruption charges that plagued the 2010 Commonwealth Games in Delhi and who is out on bail. Later, the Indian Amateur Boxing Federation was suspended by the International Boxing Association for possible manipulation of its elections. The IABF amended its constitution ahead of its September election to create the chairman's post to accommodate Abhay Singh Shotla at the end of his 12-year reign as the federation president. How will the suspension of some of India's sports governing bodies, owing to corruption and political interference, affect Sri Lanka?
We must remember that Sri Lanka must not only abide by the rules and regulations of the Minister of Sports but also abide by international rules. We can only be recognized internationally if elections, documentations, financial matters and organizing events are done correctly. For example, this happened to the Athletics Association in 1983 and 1987, where we were not allowed to compete in Asian meets.
The risk of the Sri Lanka Athletic Association being banned has not subsided in the present context. For instance, the board of officials who were elected recently was recognized temporarily by the International Amateur Athletic Federation. The IAAF reiterated that if full recognition is to be granted to the athletics body in Sri Lanka, then elections should be held under a new constitution by March next year. Furthermore, the International Cricket Council on the 3rd of June last year ordered its member states to free themselves from government interferences or face sanctions. The ICC emphasized that its member nations, including Sri Lanka, should reorganize its boards before 2013.
Our Olympic committee will also be banned very soon. We saw how Suresh Kalmadi, who was in India's Commonwealth Games, was sent to jail. But our Kalmadi is not only a secretary to a ministry but is also an advisor to the president. See how good this government is. This is the only Olympic house in the world to have a Chinese restaurant and a gym. The Olympic house was given to this Chinese restaurant apparently for around 300,000, but people there say it was given for 600,000. The gym has been given for 100,000, but its membership fee is 100,000 a year. Therefore, Minister, isn't this robbery?
Shouldn't immediate steps be taken in the name of sports to ensure that Sri Lanka does not meet the same fate as India?
Well, the Symphony Orchestra is ready for the season special once again as they present their Christmas concert on the 15th of December at the Ladies College Auditorium. The concert will feature all classics and seasonal tunes and is one not to be missed this season. MTV Sports and Yes FM are the media sponsors of the event.
With seasonal favorites such as Holy Jolly Christmas, Winter Wonderland, Christmas Medley and much more, the Symphony Orchestra will be conducted by Ajit Abesekara. The concert will feature Menaka Sabandu as a soloist and the Menaka Singers as the choir, while Navin Fernando will take center stage for a Brazilian Tico Tico trumpet solo. One of the special segments of the event is the audience sing-along, where Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Silent Night and Jingle Bell Rock will come to life. Tickets and box plan for the Christmas concert presented by the Symphony Orchestra is available at the Lionel Vent.
I'm really honored and privileged to be a soloist at this concert once again, and with the Menaka Singers also singing at the Christmas concert this time.
Well, that's a wrap from the News First team for tonight. Thank you very much for joining us. I'm Arundhati Mudanayaka. Good night.
Hotline 0114-896-896. www.newsfirst.lk. Feedback at newsfirst.lk.